All right, good evening. Okay. Welcome to the regular board meeting of the School District of Springfield Township. Could we all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. A reading of the mission statement. The mission of the School District of Springfield Township is to educate and develop all students as learners and citizens who are high-achieving, resilient, and responsible in a changing global community. Mr. King, roll call.
Mr. Bedard. Here. Mr. Chapman. Here. Ms. Jordan. Mr. Lapidus. Ms. Nelson. Mr. Rayer. Ms. Sarsfield.
Here.
Ms. Slapinski. Here. Dr. Taratusky.
Here. Announcements. The board at its discretion may videotape all or any portion of the public board meeting subject to the limitations set forth in Policy 006.2, Broadcasting of Meetings. Board meetings will be broadcast on Friday afternoon following the board meeting. Are there any public comments on agenda items? Thank you. We'll move to approval of the minutes from January 15th, 2019, our regular board meeting, Board Minutes J. Is there a motion?
Motion.
And a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions? Okay. Mr. King?
Mr. Bedard. Aye. Mr. Chapman. Aye. Ms. Sarsfield.
Aye.
Ms. Slapinski.
Aye.
Dr. Taratusky.
Aye. Approval of the Treasurer's Report, Treasurer's Report E. Is there a motion?
Motion.
And a second? Either? That's fine. Any comments or questions? Okay, thank you. Mr. King?
Mr. Bedard. Aye. Mr. Chapman. Aye. Ms. Sarsfield.
Aye.
Ms. Slapinski. Dr. Taratusky.
Aye. Reports and information. Number 1, recognitions and awards. Dr. Hacker.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Taratusky. First of all, before we talk about the reason why I'm sure most of you, if not all of you, are here this evening, you may have already heard the news that we are closed tomorrow. George, I guess that made you really happy. I heard your voice loud and clear. So. Good. Well, that's as good a reason as ever to be happy that it's canceled. Well, we're happy that people can sleep in tomorrow morning. So on that note, let's move on to some awards and recognition. This is always the best part of any board meeting. It's being able to recognize the accomplishments of our students. And we have 2 groups and 1 individual that we're going to be recognizing this evening. Dr. Rittenhouse is anxiously awaiting over there. We have certificates for these individuals. So the first group of students that he's going to recognize are a group of students from Eastern Arts. The Eastern Center for the Arts and Technology is a wonderful program that many of our students have chosen to go to. Their programs there are very rigorous, and every year they have a Skills USA competition. Students from all over the county enter the Skills USA competition, and then there, of course, is a state-level competition as well. So students compete in all of the programs that are offered at the Eastern Center, and we were very, very fortunate to have a number of winners, and so I'm going to ask Dr. Rittenhouse to announce them and present them with their certificates.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Hacker. Welcome, everybody. I think there's about 650 students at Eastern. 36 of those 650 students won awards, and of those 36, 4 of our students won awards. So I'd like to bring them up. We have a certificate of achievement for each of the students. If they could remain up here, and Mr. Oliver has agreed to take some pictures of you. We'll put them in newsletter onto the website. So without further ado, our first award, Student Recognition Award, goes to Dylan Mank, who is in collision repair. And you should be very nice to him. It's for automotive computer estimating, so be very careful. Our next award winner is Grace Alderman. If she could come up, please. And Grace won, she's in the commercial art program, and she won 2 awards, advertising design, first place, and commercial art again, opening and closing ceremonies, first place. Ryan Coughlin is in commercial art program also and won first place in opening and closing ceremonies. Please come on up. Finally, Hannah Sobek is in cosmetology, and she won for aesthetics first place. Come on in, group. Come on over, come on over.
So Dr. Rittenhouse is going to get our next award, which was given to one of our student artists. He did a jewelry competition held at the Montgomery County Community College with students submitting work, again, all over Montgomery County. So Dr. Ritt.
And this was the 41st annual Montgomery County High School exhibition and competition. The gallery featured hundreds of works of art from students at the 19 area high schools throughout Montgomery County. Only 15 pieces were recognized, and Rebecca Lee was one of the 15 students who won an award for her piece titled Reflection. She received special recognition for her beautiful piece. Come on up.
And finally, we're very, very proud of the academic achievements of our last 2 recipients of one of the highest honors that can come to any high school student. So Dr. Rittenhouse, I'm going to let you talk about
The National Merit Program, commended semifinals and finals program. Over 1.5 million students in America in 22,000 high schools enter the National Merit Scholarship Program by taking the preliminary SAT National Merit Scholarship Program, or the very easy to say PSAT/NMSQT. And that is a qualifying test. From the 1.5 million students who move on, only about 2% receive semifinalist status, which is 16,000 students. That then is greatly reduced down to the finals, and typically kids are commended, then they're semifinalists, and for many schools, which is wonderful. It's very difficult to get to the finalist stage, and many schools in America have no commended semifinal or finalist students. This year, we have 2 students, and these 2 students advanced through both rounds. First, they were a semifinalist. They're now a finalist, and we find out in a little bit they will qualify for scholarships that will be announced later in the spring. And the first National Merit finalist is Charlie Beal. And next is Blake Stout. Please come on up. certificates up, and as I'm coming out for a meeting today, I got the additional envelope, and then I opened it up and it said, hey, they're no longer semi-finalists, they're finalists. Congratulations.
Congratulations to all of you, and you are certainly welcome to stay for the rest of the board meeting, but if not, this would probably be a good time for you to make your exit. So thanks, everyone, for coming out to recognize our kids.
Okay. That is the most exciting part of being on school board, actually. So we will move to the district PTA EEHSP report. Keisha Bronson. Come on up, and actually, if we can get a chair. Yeah, if you want to pull a chair up.
Well, it's not that long. An update. Good evening, everybody. So just wanted to give you an update of a couple of things that we have done and awarded to both Enfield and Erdenheim through our mini grants program, and then a couple of activities that we have coming up as well that support actually the new Springfield Elementary School that we hope you guys can support. So this year we actually increased our mini grant budget about 10% because we typically did about $6,000, but as we've increased our requests, we want to increase the ability to support those requests. So we've dispersed over $6,600 this year. $2,300 went to Enfield and $2,300 went to Enfield and $4,300 went to Erdenheim. Just to give you an idea of what the programs went to, so we do about $1,000 per grade level, and then between $100 to $200 for individual requests. This year we approved in Enfield for the kindergarten class. They're going to do the trip around the world. That was actually done in January. And then Uncle Sam's Comedy Jam Assembly that happened in November. Then the individual program. So the counselors are asking for support for some calming classroom space kits. So as you think about kids who kind of get a little excited and need to have a space where they can go and calm and mellow, we're going to approve creating some kits like fidget spinners and different type of textiles that they can use to help calm in the classroom but not have to leave the classroom. So we actually have to go back. We had a board meeting scheduled last month, but it got canceled because of the weather. So we have to actually get a special request to our budget to approve the full cost of that. It was a little bit more than what our budget could support, but we expect that will be fully approved. And then we do the High Five bilingual books for both schools. So I'm sure you guys are familiar with the High Fives. So that's what we did in Enfield. And then at Erdenheim, in April, they're going to do the embryology program again for the second grade class. The third grade field trip, which I'm not sure where it's going. It's going to the theater to see Charlotte's production. That actually already happened in January. And then the fourth grade, we do 2 Woodmere art programs for the fourth graders. So both of those got approved. And then there's a lot at Erdenheim. We'll have the author, James Curran, will be our author visitor this year, but that's paid for through the mini grant program. And then the fifth grade will also go to the Franklin Institute to do a show on chemistry. And then the individual teachers, more the counselors. So we're actually going to do some pretty cool seating in the counselors' areas for the fifth grade, for Erdenheim. And then learning support, butterfly garden supplies, and mindfulness chimes. I think they've really pushed a lot on the mindfulness, but trying to have other tools to help encourage that space. So we're going to approve the payment for the mindfulness chimes. And then again, the High Five bilingual catalogs at both schools. So that's what our money has gone to this year within the mini grant program. Just an update, Last time we came, I shared with you guys, we had the Wizards program. We raised over $4,800 through the Wizards program. So we're going to try to do it one more year. We keep saying every year we're not going to do it because at some point people got to get tired of seeing, us play basketball. But it's successful every year. So we'll try it again next year. And then just upcoming events. The African Bazaar, which is a second grade level event, is actually next Thursday, the 28th. And then the book fairs for Erdenheim are March 4th through the 8th. Family night is the 6th. And for Enfield, April 8th through the 12th. Family night being the 10th. So those are upcoming events. And then the last thing that I wanted to share with the board, and I do have flyers if you have them, and we also sent out e-blast. On March 1st, Friday, March 1st, from 7 to 10 at McGurk's in Fort Washington, we are having an adult social. And the funding from that, the tickets are $47 plus $450, so $51.50. It's through Eventbrite, but those proceeds are actually going to go to the funding for the playground for the new school. So we're trying to raise funds for that new school. So trying to get out of our traditional, kid-focused activities and really have a more of a social adult activity, hence the elevated price of the ticket. But with the ticket, you get food, 2 drinks, entertainment, and the donation. So we definitely hope that folks can attend, encourage you to promote it. We do have flyers, and that's what's going on with the EEHSP. Thank you.
Keisha, thank you. I just wanted to especially thank you and the EEHSP for fundraising in order to help assist with the very expensive playground equipment for the new school. When we look at some of the pieces and see how much they cost, and the installation is extraordinarily expensive as well, it's really reassuring and gratifying to know you guys are helping out.
Trying.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Administrative reports, Dr. Hacker?
I just have one announcement, and that is I'm really excited that our new Springfield Township Education Association is going to be getting off the ground. Our first meeting is next Wednesday evening in the middle school library. It's February 27th at 6:30 p.m., and we've had wonderful volunteering from several members of our community, since this is a community-wide, not just a school district effort, and a number of people have already volunteered to serve on the initial board. So I'm very, very excited. The meeting is open to anyone and everyone who would like to attend, but certainly be on the lookout once we get off the ground and hit the ground running, hopefully, with news of many events that will hopefully be planned to help us begin our fundraising efforts. So I'm very happy and just wanted to make that announcement.
Thank you, Dr. Hacker, and thank you for spearheading that initiative. I think it's going to be an excellent addition to our district. All right, new business. Personnel attachment. The Board of School Directors approves the following personnel as presented in the attachment: certificated personnel, support personnel, temporary personnel, extra pay for extra responsibilities, and conference workshop attendance. Is there a motion? And a second? Any comments or questions? Mr. King?
Mr. Bedard. Aye. Mr. Chapman. Aye. Ms. Sarsfield.
Aye.
Ms. Lipinski. Aye. Dr. Teretescu.
Aye. Number 2, independent contractor, psychologist. The Board of School Directors approves the contract with Ms. Holly Cohen for a school psychology services effective February 19th, 2019. Is there a motion?
Motion.
And a second? Either John or Jeff is the second. Okay. Any comments or questions?
So I just was wondering why we have an extra psychologist.
Just due to the sheer number of evaluations that need to be done, we can't handle it with our own in-house individuals at this point.
Do we contract with CCIU MCIU for services? No? Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. Any other comments or questions? Mr. King?
Mr. Bedard. Aye. Mr. Chapman. Aye. Ms. Sarsfield.
Aye.
Ms. Lipinski. Aye. Dr. Teretescu.
Aye. Number 3, acceptance of donation. The Board of School Directors accepts a donation in the amount of $710.02 made to the Springfield Township High School class of 2022 by the Springfield Secondary PTA. Is there a motion? And a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions? Mr. King?
Mr. Bedard. Aye. Mr. Chapman. Aye. Ms. Sarsfield.
Aye.
Ms. Lipinski. Aye. Dr. Teratescu.
Aye. Number 4, Bristol Environmental, Inc. The Board of School Directors approves Bristol Environmental, Inc. for removal of unforeseen asbestos-containing materials found under the concrete foundation prior to the demolition of the existing Antonelli building in the amount of $3,175. Is there a motion?
Motion.
And a second? Any comments or questions? Okay. Mr. King?
Mr. Bedard. Aye. Mr. Chapman. Aye. Ms. Sarsfield.
Aye.
Ms. Lipinski. Dr. Teratescu.
Aye. Are there any public comments on non-agenda items? No? Okay, thank you. Any future meeting dates? Interim board meeting will be held on Tuesday, March 5th, 2019. That's a tentative date at 7 p.m. here in the Freeze Memorial Lobby. And the regular school board meeting will be held Tuesday, March 19th at 7 p.m. in the Freeze Memorial Lobby.
And I just spoke with Dr. Yannicone today because I wanted to make sure we got an Academic Affairs Committee meeting on the calendar. So I'll be sending that notice out to the committee members. That's going to be scheduled for March 11th,
Okay, thank you.
Know the time?
probably at 5:30.
And will that be in the administrative building?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So Academic Affairs Committee meeting, March 11th at 5:30 in the administrative building. Correct. Okay. All right. Thank you very much for coming. Have a good evening. We're adjourned.